Alright guys, another Coaster Poster production here, bringing you some news with Kentucky Kingdom. If you don't know, Kentucky Kingdom was closed in 2009, originally owned by Six Flags, and a guy named Ed Hart has come in to kind of redo it and reopen it for 2014, and one of his big promises is a new coaster, along with the expansion of the water park, but we're going to be talking about what coaster we could possibly be seeing. We're going to start out with a dive coaster. And this is very unlikely, mainly because these are extremely expensive, and Kentucky Kingdom doesn't necessarily have a large budget to work with. So, even though it would be good, it's probably not going to happen, very unlikely, because I just don't think it's in the budget, and they don't have the real resources to get one. Next is a Giga Coaster. Again, very unlikely. I do not think that we will be seeing this. It would be a good fit because Kings Island doesn't have one, and that's kind of their big competitor in this sense, but I really just don't see it happening. So moving on, we got a flying coaster. Again, very unlikely. Flying coaster is kind of like a specialty type of coaster, and they already have an SLC. Even though they suck, I just don't think that they're going to want to put in a flying coaster. Again, one's been built somewhat recently. Manta was 2009, so it's not like it's been forever. But, again, still not thinking it's going to happen. And now a wing coaster. This is actually a little more likely than a flying coaster, mainly because a lot of wing coasters are being built right now, and they're not, overly pricey. I mean, B&M tends to be a little more pricey, but more reliable than Intamin. But Intamin does do wing coasters and Furious Baka. They get to put one in the U.S. But I doubt we'd see Intamin for a wing coaster. You'd probably see B&M. But again, it's more of a specialty type coaster, and I don't think that that's what they're going for here. And a launch coaster. This is doubtful. Kentucky Kingdom does not have a launch coaster, but I just don't feel like they would want to put one in. It's just kind of hard, a hard decision really. It's going to kind of have to trust me with it, but I just don't think that we will be seeing a launch coaster. They do have Grease Lightning, that doesn't really count because it's a shuttle loop, and I don't even know if it's reopening. I heard that it wasn't, but it might be, I'm not sure. A Vekoma Boomerang, again, doubtful because I think they're planning, I feel like maybe, it's something new to the park, but if they're going to add something new, it would probably not be this, because these aren't really manufactured anymore. They're really taken from one park to another, and Kentucky Kingdom doesn't really have the means of getting one from another park, so that is a setback to that. So again, doubtful. A B&M stand-up, possible, but not very likely. I mean, this is the lowest of the possible ones. Just because the one's farther along in a certain category doesn't mean it's more or less likely. Like, the dive machine and the Giga Coaster and the flying coaster are all the same amount of unlikeliness. But this one, I actually probably should have put doubtful for this. They did have a B&M stand-up that's now Green Lantern at Great Adventure because Six Flags relocated it after they, abandoned the park. And B&M hasn't really manufactured one in a while, but they did bring back the invert, so I guess they could possibly bring back the stand-up. Who knows? But I just don't think it's going to happen. A record-breaking Woody. This is actually possible. Rocky Mountain Construction is doing rehab on Thunder Run, and from what it's looking like, Twisted Twins is going to get a little RMC magic worked with it, because they are not going to open it immediately. They're going to wait till I believe 2016 to reopen Twisted Twins, and if RMC is doing Thunder Run for 2014, what's going to stop them from, making another coaster? Even though these are Gravity Group and Intamin coasters, we could definitely be seeing some RMC magic, and then there's Goliath, but we could definitely possibly be seeing a good wooden coaster being built. A Hyper Coaster. Also likely, definitely more likely than a Giga Coaster. I mean, when you walk up to a park, Hyper Coasters really stand out. Not that Giga Coasters don't, but I feel like a Hyper Coaster would be something more suited for the park. So, I would actually be more likely to see a B&M Hyper Coaster than an Intamin Hyper Coaster. Like, if we saw something like Skyrush, that'd be really cool, but I just feel like they would prefer to use B&M. Omega Light, very likely. If they try to build something brand new, it will definitely be a Omega Light. It's got everything that they are looking for. It's a very good thrill ride. It's compact. You don't need a whole lot of space, and it's very inexpensive. So, this definitely fits the criteria of what Kentucky Kingdom needs. However, there is not one in the U.S., but who's to say that Ed Hart isn't looking to be the first one in the U.S.? I mean, that's definitely very possible. That'd be kind of big, and that'd get attention to it. So, that's good. And now you gotta look at the old Time Machine from Freestyle Music Park. Now, Freestyle Music Park is closed, and Time Machine is a B&M sit-down that the park has. It is standing but not operating. And the thing is, you gotta think, because they don't have a whole lot of time to get this done. With a Time Machine, they can pretty much just take it down and ship it instead of having to be manufactured and everything. And from what I've heard, Time Machine has been running. I mean, you see that picture right there? That's a current picture. You can see the lights are running on the ride. And from what I know, that someone spotted a car on the brake run like it had just gone through a test run. And also from what I know, 2 of the 3 cars still have the Freestyle Music Park logo on it, but 1 does not. So that could possibly be a hint. And a B&M sit-down is kind of an uncommon type of coaster. Not many of these were manufactured, so this could definitely happen. I could definitely see him looking into getting this coaster. So its location, the old Chang site. They don't have a lot of time to really get a, whole renovation thing done and expand. And Chang's really, the old Chang site's pretty much where they've got the most room to get a new coaster. So again, Time Machine could work, Mega Light could work. They got some room to work with. I mean, they could definitely put in something else, but those are the 2 that I think are going to most likely happen. So what do you think we could be seeing? Comment for other parks you want me to do this on. I enjoyed doing this. I wouldn't mind doing another one. It was kind of cool. So stay tuned for other videos to come. Again, check out my blog, coasterposter41.blogspot.com, and keep calm and ride coasters.